I am one person who believes in the politics of strengthening our party so that we have a party with a manifesto and an agenda, so that when you talk of the UDA party, then you will know what that party stands for. So that we move away from that where we have been using parties as just a vehicle for elections, and then 5 years later, we move on to another party. So for once, I think I'm really excited by the help that we shall be getting from the Communist Party of China in regards to helping us run and have a very strong government party, UDA party. So that for many years from now, even beyond our term in office, even for those who will come behind us, they will be able to continue with the great manifesto of UDA by the kind of exchange that we'll have with the Communist Party of China. I am sure we can only get better, get stronger, and truly understand what a party means and what a party stands for. I agree with the Secretary General. It's been a bit concerning when we see our members taking to the podiums and actually going against party positions. You know, when I was fired myself by the then President Uhuru Kenyatta from being the chief whip of the Senate, deep in my heart, I knew he was right. Do you know why I knew he was right? There is no way I could have been his whip as the whip of the party, the government party, and I truly, in my heart, disagreed with the positions he had taken. So the right thing to do is either resign or be fired, right? So even here, you cannot be a UDA or Kenya Kwanza party member, positions maybe elected, nominated, or whatever, and then take the podium and go against the party leader or the party positions. That is unacceptable. So I think I agree completely with our MCA Wamariamu and what he has said. SG, you guys need to expedite the meeting with the MCA caucuses. Maybe you start with them, but I also believe the president had also promised that he will also see them. So as much as you as the SG and the party see the members of the county assemblies, it also needs to end or stop, also get to the president where they sit with him. They do have legitimate issues that they have been raising, and those issues should not be swept under the carpet, because they too are really, actually I believe they are our strongest link, because they are our link to the mashinani, to the grassroots. So when we really oppress them, then they are not able to help us build a strong party and also get out the party and government positions out there, you know? So I think it's important that we give them a hearing. As members of parliament, you do see the president. He's doing very well. We've seen your parliamentary meetings, which we longed for in the last parliament and we never got. As Council of Governors, we meet the president also very frequently. So it is also just as important that our foot soldiers on the ground meet the president, and often too, as much as we do. So if the MPs are doing it monthly, I don't see why the MCAs should not do it quarterly with the president. So without too much talk on that, I think that is the direction. SG, I also completely agree with you on one thing. As a country, right now, we are struggling under economic hardships. But I also want to tell you, it's not a Kenya issue only. It is the same thing across the world, whether we want to believe it or not. So what I want to say, we have no time to now start taking people back to the political atmosphere of trying to do a referendum. There is no time for a referendum right now. It is time to make sure that we build our economy and we make sure that everybody can put food on the table. So as far as I'm concerned as well, I disagree. I know the National Dialogue Team Committee did not necessarily say we go to a referendum. It is something that the opposition group has since been chanting about, and I believe it should not be entertained. There is no time for a referendum. We do not have the luxury of a referendum right now. If they want a referendum, let them put it together with the elections of 2027 and let those questions be answered then. The same way we said no to BBI is the same way we are saying no to any referendum. We have no money, no time, and no luxury of putting our efforts and our energies into such things. So that I am completely in agreement with you, our SG. Now, as a party, I believe, and that is why I so much believe in the party. Most of us here, actually all of us here, were very involved in building this UDA. And that is why I'm going to urge you, my colleagues, the MCAs, the MPs, and all the other leaders here. Let us make sure our people register and become registered members of UDA. Let them participate in the elections. We must own this party. And when I say that, I mean that because we cannot have put in all that effort and then move aside and let the party be taken over by people who do not understand where we came from or where we are going. So my point with that is, please let us in our areas take charge to make sure that people continue to register for members. Some of us are not running for any positions in the county. So I don't want, when I say we take over, I'm not meaning that we take over positions. What I'm saying is, let us be involved in making sure the party is very vibrant. We were #1 in the country in registration of members back in 2022. So there is nothing that stops us from still being at that position as we go forward. And that is the only way that we can strengthen this government, so that we are able to continue talking about, telling the people about the president's transformative agenda, the better. That is a bottom-up economic transformative agenda. So that we can make sure we are able to help the president achieve the UHC agenda. Those are things that the UDA party stands for. So that we can make sure we are able to help the president achieve the housing agenda as one of his big flagship agendas, and that we know will create employment for hundreds of thousands of our youth, and as well as give us housing with dignity for our people. So that we can continue supporting the president in his agriculture agenda, where we have been able to bring subsidized fertilizer, and with us as the county government making sure we take it down to the grassroots so that the farmers can get access to it, where we have been able to do the KIPES with the help of the president and make sure that we move this country to become more industrialized. And I believe China there is a leader, and we can only get better with this partnership. So I'm really excited about this. I won't go too much further, but I hope you can tell I am passionate about a strong democratic party. A strong UDA is the only way that we can make sure we keep forming the government for the next 100 years. Right? You said our silent graves. I think we'll be haunting them from our graves if they let this go. So thank you very much, our members. Thank you for coming today. Thank you very much, Your Excellency Mao, for being with us here today. We cannot wait to hear from you this morning or this afternoon now, because we keep saying there is no need to reinvent the wheel. Since the Communist Party of China has figured it out, help us figure out how we are able to stay in power for the next 100 years and beyond. Thank you.